Welcome to the live stream, everybody. If you're here on the replay, please leave me a comment. Let me know you were here, what you thought. If you're in here now, leave me a comment. Just let me know who's here. If you are coming to this stream from Facebook, straight from the link, you won't be able to really participate unless you log in through YouTube. Then you can leave comments where I can see them. I can see them and respond. Yeah, that's the only way I'll be able to see them. If you don't have a YouTube account, it's pretty easy. Just log into Google. It's just easy. Just go to YouTube and set up an account. Today I'm going to go over a question that came onto the Treatment-Free Beekeepers Facebook page. It comes up all the time, every year, dozens and dozens of times, especially going into winter, coming out of winter. I'm going to read it off my phone. I don't want to pull it up on the screen. My laptop is lagging here a little bit. And also, for anyone here, if you have any questions or anything, you can put them in the comments. I'll see if I can work them into this conversation. Otherwise, you guys just talk amongst yourselves. I won't be acknowledging every comment if there's too many. But how you doing? I see you guys. So thanks for being here. But I'm going to read this. A person in the Treatment-Free Beekeeping group asked a question. I'm not going to really focus on the person who asked the question because this question is asked many, many times, many different ways. So the discussion I want to have is going to be kind of focusing on the question, not the person that asked the question. I'm not talking about anyone in particular, specifically. They asked, when you make the transition to treatment-free beekeeping, what kind of losses are you expecting over the first winter? That was part one. And they want to know what is reasonable. And I always say reasonable or acceptable. I always say that in quotes if I write it, because it doesn't, that's something that will change depending on who you're talking to. The second part of the question was they can't remember, but they heard in the first winter that there were going to be losses, which is another word that I always say in quotes. I always write it in quotes because you're never going to have selection. You're not going to move forward in selection without some type of death. If anyone can tell me a way that you can select without having some of the population either die or be killed intentionally, please let me hear it. So this question is so broad. It's kind of like saying, just how many miles do you get from a gallon of gas? And you don't even know what vehicle they're talking about. You don't know anything about how they drive, what they're driving, what kind of gas they use. It's just so broad. But very, very commonly, what will happen is someone will keep bees the normal accepted way, which is treating their bees, doing all the very high maintenance, just constant coddling, beekeeping ways, and they'll lose their colonies. And then for some reason, they'll decide, okay, treating didn't work, this year or the past couple of years, whatever they did. And then they'll decide they want to not treat bees. They want to do the treatment-free thing. That's what they say. And then somehow they think that, okay, now I'm going to take the same bees that I had before, not treat them, and expect them to do actually better. And that's just not how it works. My answer to the question in the Facebook group was that if you're doing this right as a hobbyist, you're just a regular hobbyist, you don't depend on bees to pay for everything in your life. you should be able to catch your own bees. You should catch bees for free. Enjoy yourself keeping the bees. Keep more than you expect to have in the spring. If you want to have 5 coming out of spring, the best thing you can do is keep 10 or 12. That doesn't even guarantee that you're going to have 5. But it's sure as hell better than keeping 5 and then trying to keep 5 alive all winter or all fall and then winter, and then being all upset when 3 or 2 of them or all of them die in the spring, because you could lose 5 of 10 or 12 and still be where you're at. So that's the goal, in my opinion, for a hobbyist. As I said in the description, I don't care about commercial beekeepers, sideliners. They don't have a seat at this table. If anybody who treats your bees, it's okay to treat your bees if that's what you want to do, but they're not part of this conversation. So acceptable losses, okay. As I've said, and if you're not new around here, you know that you could, as I've said before, you can keep 5-10 colonies that you catch for free, and if they just happen to die over winter, a lot of that's going to be beekeeper error. That's how I lose most of mine, errors. The main thing to keep in mind is that you're not harming the bee population. They're going to bounce back. All you're doing is keeping your local area from getting these crappy bees that people buy down south or across the country. You're saving money. You're still having the same amount of fun, but you're really just not hurting anything. If you're someone that has, hundreds of colonies and for some reason you decide you want to not treat bees, hey, that's great. I mean, I love that. If you have that kind of dedication, you really want to do it, you can do it. But there's not really a number that you can say is, it's up to you. It's up to you what you find acceptable. But to just say something like, 50% or 80%, it's hard to just throw a number like that out there. Things are different for all around the country. Let's just see if there's anything here. I can see everybody come in. How's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. So let me look at some of the comments that were left to answer this question, because it was just proposed to everyone, whoever wants to answer it. And I'll read off some of the comments and tell you what I think of them. Just my opinion. The first commenter says that they lost 1 out of 3 last year. They're not trying to be huge. They like to just keep 5 colonies or less. I mean, that's music to my ears right there. They're not stressing about that. But let me just reiterate what I mean by, the pain that goes through my head when I hear loss. Okay. If you're catching bees for free, you have fun with them. You produce some honey. You may make a split. You might sell a split. It's hard to put a price tag on that stuff. The only way you're going to have a loss is if you're talking about money. Okay. And mixing, your dependence on money with the enjoyment of keeping bees, that's something for commercial beekeepers to do. Over here, we don't care about that. So I have a hard time calling any of the deaths of my colonies a loss. They made their contribution. They were put to the test. They failed, and now they're making room for all my splits in the spring. So it's not a loss. They drew out a lot of combs. I probably took some honey from them. I probably had fun messing with them. There's no loss there. None. All right, I'm just looking at the comments. Okay, so someone says, don't forget when you switch to treatment-free beekeeping, you should think about requeening with treatment-free queens to improve your genetics. That sounds like something that, it's kind of a novice kind of way of looking at things. There's no such thing as treatment-free queens. There are queens that are a product of a treatment-free beekeeper. So yeah, the bees don't treat themselves with oxalic acid or whatever, so there's not really treatment-free bees. You're a treatment-free beekeeper, and it's semantics, but I don't know that that's always necessary, especially if you're catching bees. A lot of those bees, depending where you're at, will have been on their own for many bee generations. So I can't see how some beekeeper is going to produce better queens than that. Let's see what the next comment here is. Another lady who's been keeping bees since 2019, started with 6 hives that already had apivar strips in them. This lady removed them. They came out in the spring with 4 of the 6. This lady wasn't treating her bees. The next year went into winter with 13, came out with 10. This is really good. I mean, those are good numbers. Went into last winter with 17. So in this beekeeper's opinion, she had a bad season because she went in with 13 and came out with 7, or 17 and came out with 7. But you're going to have seasons like that. You're going to have really good seasons and a couple that seem pretty bad. But to me, that's just something that happens. I wouldn't consider that terrible. So, now this person is going into winter again with however many. Probably knows how to catch bees, is not going to stress about it, and will bounce back. All right, so let's see who else we got here. I see you guys in here. How you doing? Let's see. This person here, they treated their bees and lost 3 out of 4. So this person, yeah, that's a very, very long comment, but they're just talking about how someone lost 75% of their bees, even though they were a treater. And right before I came onto this live, I saw a new post come up in the local bee group where treatment-free beekeeping is just not something you talk about in there. And the person asked, how's everybody else's hives doing? This person lost 4 out of 4. So right away, the comments just started coming in. Boom, boom, boom. Did you treat? Did you treat? Did you treat? And they were fully expecting him to say no. And he's been treating for 3 years, treated according to the book, and lost all 4 of his colonies. And so did dozens of people in the comments. And someone commented that at their bee group, people are losing a ton of bees that all treat their bees. So you really shouldn't. Don't think that because you're not treating, you're just automatically going to lose so many more bees. Just not totally true. But yeah, you don't want to use crappy packages or nukes. So let's see, what are some more comments here? I should have put them up on the screen, but this computer is acting up. Year 3, this person is in year 3. Caught all swarms, never bought any bees. This person doesn't feed, also never treated. They're in Texas. They had 14 colonies and lost 1. And I guess they expected to lose more than that. And that's really, really good. I mean, to have 14 and lose 1 and to not have to do all that meticulous, just tedious treating and counting and all that crap all the time. And they don't even feed, so they have it going really well. I don't know if I could keep 13 of 14 alive here in Pennsylvania. I mean, today I was out visiting my bees, and one yard I had 6 out of 7 alive. And then back here, there may have been 1 extra dead colony from the last time that I was out there, but I still have a ton of bees alive, way more than I want. Let's see, what are some of these people talking about? Ed Sharp lost 5 out of 30 in heat treats. So, I mean, I don't even care about doing percentages. It's just so pointless. 1 year has nothing to do with another year. Let's just see what Lyndon says. Went into winter with 1 and still have 1. So he's playing the ultimate, all the eggs in one basket with 1 colony, but that's fine. I mean, 1, you could lose 1, but 1 is really easy to replace if you know how to get your own bees. So here's this guy. I'm just reading these comments. I'm looking over to the side because I'm reading these off my phone. He says, depends on, oh crap, I almost reacted to it with a laughy face. It depends on where you get your bees from. That's what this person says. If it's a breeder using treatments, you can expect 50 to 100% of your colonies to die off in the first year. I mean, I don't know. I've never bought that many bees. I bought one package 13 years ago, so I don't really know that. But I do know that a lot of people that I kind of mentor and work with their bees, they always buy all their bees, and they die very regularly with treating. So this guy's kind of like trying to nail down a number, saying you can expect 10 to 30% in the first year, and then the next year I don't want to read it word for word because I don't want anybody bitching at me about exposing them or anything. So one of the moderators says, as long as you don't lose them all, you have some survivors to make splits. Even if you do lose them all, you have a good chance of catching swarms. That's my thing. I can see if you have hundreds of colonies, thousands, you don't want to even play around. That's fine. That's your business. But I'm talking about hobbyists here. Let's see. This person says, mine died last week, 100% lost. Now, the thing about that commenter is I'm pretty sure that commenter only had one colony. So 100% sounds really big and upsetting, but not when you only have 1 colony. Or even 3 or 4. This person says, I have losses every year. It's the natural selection process. And that is what it is. Well, it's not natural selection, but it is selection. Natural selection does not occur where people are poking their little fingers and hive tools in. And he says, and sometimes basically he makes mistakes. And he builds up to about 12 to 15 colonies every year. And then one buddy in this group that catches more bees than me, he's a nut. He says you should trap feral bees. Try to trap them in places basically where there's not too many beekeepers around, and he does really well. I don't remember what he said, but I think he lost. I hate even saying lost. I think maybe 2 or 3 of his out of maybe 40 died so far. So this person comes in here and says, with beekeeping, it's a crapshoot. Treatment fee, there's losses, but there's also losses from people who treat. So why introduce chemicals into a hive in the first place? I mean, they have a point. So this one says, so this person says that they have huge losses. Went into winter with 19 and 2 survived. And then this year they went into winter and with 11 and 1 survived. So let's see. What did they even do? So this person kind of admits to taking too much honey. Probably took more than I should. I'm sorry for the delay here. They knew at least 5 wouldn't make it from the beginning. So yeah, I don't know how much weight I want to give to that one. Let me see. So I see you guys. Hey everybody. So another friend of mine says there's no way to reliably. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied here. There's no way to reliably predict that as a set of rule for every beekeeper in every zone of the world. Where this person is, beekeepers report 50 to 60% losses regardless of treatment or lack of, due to extended cold stress. So much so it's incredibly rare for commercial bees to overwinter in that area. As a treatment-free beekeeper, I experienced the exact same 50% loss each year as all of the members of their club who also treat. About going treatment-free, you need to have a clear understanding of what success is for your beekeeping intentions, which is 1,000,000% correct. If you're going by somebody else's definition of success, you're going to always be disappointed in yourself. If every time I went to play basketball, I'm just thinking of how NBA players play, and then I compared myself to them, I mean, it's stupid. Like, don't do it. So another beekeeper says to concentrate on increases, not losses. This person stopped concentrating on losses in 2007, increased 20-fold, plus whatever bees sold or were given away. And this person keeps 50 full hive body queen right splits in 2012. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to read comments, but that person keeps a shit ton of bees and does really well. Let me see. Okay, hold on. This person says if you're going to change your treated hives to treatment-free, first requeen with queens from a treatment-free breeder. So that's the same thing someone else said. I don't bother doing that. I don't endorse that. Catch your own bees. Don't worry about requeening. I don't trust many queen breeders at all. You name them, I don't trust them. I don't care who they are, how treatment-free they claim to be. I'm finding more and more that a lot of them are just, they want the clout of looking like a treatment-free beekeeper, and they're really not. They're just, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Someone says 80 to 90% loss is what they expect. To even have 80 to 90% losses, you're going to need 10 colonies just for that math to math correctly. So I don't know. It's possible. I've lost 80% already before, one time. Let's see. But that was 80% of like 20. So it really wasn't a big deal. But that was kind of probably my worst year. So the very last person says, when I switched to treatment-free, I did not see any more losses than usual. And winters in this person's area are pretty harsh. So, I mean, that's from the people who commented. That's their perspective. I kind of tried to give you mine. Hopefully I got it all out. But let's see if I can. I'll go to this comment here. Let me see what it says here. Stephen Paulo, a little off topic, but hopefully you will answer. Living in New York with a short summer, if I catch 2 swarms in the spring, how many splits could I safely make before winter? Oh, wow. Yeah, see, that's going to be kind of a locally answerable question, but why would you limit yourself to just catching 2 swarms? I mean, why? I wouldn't even really, it wouldn't be my goal to split swarms that I caught in an area that has a short summer. I mean, if you want more swarms, you just got to catch more swarms. However you caught the first 2 that you're going to catch, double it up or triple it up. You can make swarm traps out of anything, buckets, trash cans, friggin' flower pots, extra equipment, just any kind of box. I wouldn't, in short, I would not take 2 swarms and try to make a ton of bees. Now, in my own area, let's say I catch 2 two like major prime swarms in mid-April, yeah, they're gonna blow out 2 or 3 deeps, and I'll have to split them, or they'll just swarm again. Yeah, here, but I don't know if New York, depending where in New York, it might be quite a bit shorter. And a lot of times, even those big swarms that I catch, they'll just swarm and like get away. You know, I wouldn't even get them in a box. They'll just take off. But this year I'm hoping to catch, I don't know, another 75, 80 swarms. Yeah, so basically don't limit yourself to 2 swarms. Catch more. All right, so let me see. Was there anything else that I had? I was planning on doing like a little bit of like a outline, and then some things got in the way. But okay, yeah. So since you're right here in my live stream, you can check out the playlist that I have that says something about free bees or catching swarms. You just go right to my front page of my YouTube channel, and I have 3 videos that tells you everything. Even has like my biggest secret. You can get bees. I mean, look at Anita out there in Australia catching a bunch of swarms. She knows what she's doing. So soon she'll be dealing with winter, and we'll be catching swarms. Hey there, Emma. How you doing? Now, 18 bees. The 18 bees challenge here. We got me and all the moderators in the Facebook group are totally confused about who is 18 bees. What is the? I think I was calling the person I spoke to Duncan, and that's not who it is. I don't even know. But then there's a couple other people's names. Let me see. Hey, Rodney, what's up? So hopefully I answered that question. I mean, I know it's all over the place with the answer. Acceptable is going to be what it's going to be up to you. If you can't deal with any bees dying, you need to just not. Treatment-free beekeeping is not for you. Probably beekeeping isn't for you. If you can't just deal with the fact that sometimes some bees got to die, it shouldn't be your thing. I'm just telling, that's how it is. Let's see. Survivor bees, David Blagg. David's goal is to catch a minimum of 30 swarm traps. Yeah, I mean, 30 is a very doable number. Totally doable. I've never caught that many in traps, but the other guy I was talking about from the Facebook group, he catches probably 50 or 60 in traps, like in really wild places where there's just nothing there. For me, just going to swarm calls is so much easier. It's so easy. You just pull up and they're sitting right there, and you just shake them in your box. Yeah, our winters are pretty bad. We've been in the teens for like weeks. Now today it was nice and warm. Some local bee clubs will also have swarm alert system. Yeah, I mean, most clubs do that too. Yeah, check into your local club, but you'll have people fighting for those swarms. Yeah, definitely don't love doing cutouts, but I have a bunch scheduled for the spring. Let me see what else was on there. I think I may have totally neglected to look at the second part of that person's question. They said, sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I get it. He said, I can't remember where, but I thought I'd heard the first winter there's going to be losses. And the answer is yeah, the first winter there's going to be losses. And in the second and the third, and from forever, there's always going to be losses. I've heard of people, saying, oh, I have 60 colonies and they all live, or maybe one died or something. I call bull crap. I mean, I just really don't believe it. It's easy to say. I don't say that kind of stuff. All right. Can't think of too much more. I don't want to just drag it out. Anybody have any other bee related stuff they want to talk about at all, really quick? I think this was nice and to the point. Everybody behaves so well. Everybody behaved. All right. So with that, thanks to everybody who's here for tuning in. If you haven't checked out your boy on TikTok, if you have a TikTok, you should check me out there. I blew up. I'm totally famous on TikTok now. It's just Swarmstead. And leave me a comment so I can follow you back. All right. Take care, everybody. Peace.